Hello and welcome back. So, after this long, incredible journey through the Mahabharata, one big question is left hanging in the air. What does all of this actually mean for us, right here, right now?
I mean, really think about it. In the middle of our daily grind, our corporate politics, those heated social media debates, and our own quiet personal dilemmas, are these characters just names in an old book, or do you feel their struggles and their choices echoing inside of you? Okay, let's really get into this.
So, here's our plan for this final analysis of the Mahabharata. We're going to connect its timeless ethics to our world today. We'll look at the tough calls around duty, the challenges of integrity, and pull out some key takeaways from modern life. And then, stick around because we're going to look ahead to our next great journey together.
Yeah, our focus today is all about modern ethics. We are literally taking these epic lessons from the ancient battlefield of Kurukshetra and dropping them right into the modern boardroom, into our family dynamics, and into our society at large.
Let's start with a giant of the epic, Bhishma. His vow was so powerful, so famous, that the entire world looked up to him. But here's the twist. That exact same vow is what forced him into silence when injustice was happening right in front of him. I mean, most horribly during the disrobing of Draupadi. His whole life was a battle between his promise and his conscience.
And you can see how Bhishma's ancient vow translates so perfectly to things we deal with today, like a modern contract or a commitment. How many times have we heard or even said, I gave my word, my hands are tied? This is exactly where the Mahabharata gives us a really critical lesson. And this right here says it all. No promise, no contract, no rule should ever be more important than the basic principles of Dharma, of doing the right thing. If an old promise is causing real harm to innocent people today, then ethics demands that we pause and rethink that promise.
Okay, now let's shift gears and explore the dilemmas of duty and talent by focusing on two other unforgettable characters, Karna and Draupadi.
Karna. What a character. He was brilliant, he was loyal, he was generous, and an absolutely unmatched warrior. His problem wasn't a lack of talent. It was that all of that immense talent was fighting for the wrong side. His loyalty was to Duryodhana, the man who gave him a chance, but that loyalty made him a part of some terrible injustices.
Just think about it in a modern context. Imagine a genius software engineer who knows their company is doing shady things with user data, but they keep quiet because, hey, they gave me my first big break. That is the Karna dilemma, in a nutshell. He's a mirror for us, asking a very uncomfortable question. Just because someone gave you an opportunity, does that mean you owe them your silence, even when they're clearly in the wrong?
So, the takeaway here is absolutely crucial. Your talent, combined with your loyalty, is an incredibly powerful force. But it's only truly great when it serves the right purpose. You have to let your moral compass be the one that decides where you point that incredible power.
And that brings us to the people who chose a different path. The characters who showed us what integrity looks like, even when it was the hardest, most dangerous thing to do.
Draupadi's story for me is all about non-negotiable self-respect. In that packed assembly hall, as she was being publicly humiliated, she didn't just accept her fate. No, she asked a question that literally shook the foundations of that kingdom. Was it even lawful to gamble me away? Her voice teaches us something so important. Questioning injustice isn't rebellion. It's an act of upholding Dharma. It is our ethical duty.
And then you have Yudhishthira. Let's be honest, he made some terrible mistakes. The dice game was a catastrophe. But he never ran from them. He owned them, he learned from them, and he took responsibility. Now, this is a model of mature leadership. It's not about being perfect. It's about having the strength to say, I was wrong, to fix what you broke, and to lead forward with humility.
And finally, of course, we have Krishna. He didn't pick up a weapon, but his strategy was always in support of Dharma. He wasn't afraid to bend the rules when he had to, but his core intention was always justice, never personal gain. In the complex world we live in, just being a good person isn't always enough, is it? You also have to be smart. And Krishna ethics is that perfect blend, using sharp strategy to achieve compassionate outcomes.
So, what does this all boil down to? Let's distill all these massive lessons from this epic into something we can use in our modern lives. All right, here is your ethical shortcut. If you're a leader,
Avoid that blind loyalty trap that Bhishma fell into. Instead, practice that honest self-correction we saw in Yudhishthira. If you're a team member, don't let a great opportunity blind you like it did Karna. Keep that moral compass switched on. If you see something wrong, don't be silent. Be a Draupadi and ask the tough questions. And if you're smart, use that intelligence for the good of everyone, just like Krishna.
And with that, our deep dive into the world of the Mahabharata comes to a close. But, the end of one great story is often just the beginning of another.
You see, all these questions about dharma, duty, and justice that we've been grappling with in the Mahabharata, they don't just stop. They flow onward, they transform, and they echo in the next great river of stories that has shaped this culture for generations. So, we are so excited to announce our next great series, the Ramayana. We're going to explore the life of Sri Ram, the incredible devotion of Lakshman, the quiet strength of Sita, the boundless faith of Hanuman, and of course, the incredibly complex and learned antagonist, Ravana. And we're going to be asking questions that hit close to home. When we look at our own family dynamics, our own duties to our siblings and parents, what can we possibly learn from the unbreakable bond between these three brothers? Can Sita's powerful, unwavering dignity give us a new way to look at modern love and relationships? And maybe the biggest question of them all, in a world that is changing faster than ever, what does Maryada, living a life of principle and honor, even mean today? We are just buzzing with excitement for this next journey, and we really want you to help us shape it right from the very start. But first, before we get ahead of ourselves, from the bottom of our hearts, thank you. Thank you for coming on this journey with us through the Mahabharata. It was your curiosity, your comments, your engagement. You are what made this entire series possible. And now we're handing the controls over to you. Help us create our Ramayana series. Drop a comment below. First, let us know which Mahabharata story really hit home for you. And second, who should we start with in the Ramayana? Your answers are literally going to guide our first few scripts. And of course, please don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the first chapter of our brand new saga. Thank you so much for being here.